Hi, everyone. Hello. It's me, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And joining me today, as always, is my friendly neighborhood, Ian Gibson.
Hi, I'm your friendly neighborhood. Don't put any more houses in me. It's overcrowded.
It hurts. It hurts me so much. Sorry.
It hurts me so bad. Please, God, no, don't. No more condos.
I gotta adjust.
Can't fit that many people in me.
Gotta adjust this thing. I last minute changed this game to full screen. So bear with me, folks. Bear down for midterms. And
I'm bearing. Just barely. I did a yoke.
oh, that's the wrong one. There you are. You did a yoke? What kind of yoke? Like an egg yolk?
I yoked it up. I'm tired. Well, folks, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight.
So, I gotta start the stream off with our 3080 check-in. Have we bought ourselves a 3080 yet?
No, I am now part of 2 Discords that are doing a pretty good job of notifying me when there is stock. And the problem is the only stock's coming into Best Buy, and it's hard to tell if there's actually stock in Best Buy or if their website's so messed up that it keeps accidentally triggering the bot.
Nice.
So short answer is no, but I feel much more confident now because I feel like when it actually does go in stock, I know pretty quickly. So it's just a matter of time.
Fantastic. Folks, that's been your 3080 check-in. Thank you for joining us for that. Now moving on to the main course here. Folks, this is Server Quest Live. It's the live version of a formerly taped show where we play through the history of MMORPGs. We are on the Saga of Ryzom, or as it is called now, Ryzom. Came out April 23rd, 2004, right before World of Warcraft. And this game has changed a lot of hands over the years. And in 2010, it went open source, and now it is completely community updated, which I think is pretty cool. It's open source. You can get all the files. You could make your own. I guess, how does that work? If a thing's open source, can I just download all the files and make my own version of it?
Yes, you literally have the source code, which lets you compile your own version.
Cool. I should just make a private server. Oh my goodness.
Oh, is this a PG-13 game?
Yes. When I made a character last time, it did not have nudity, or this like vague nudity at the beginning. I could be a blue. By blue boy, I mean
Boy.
I'm gonna be a boy. No, I can't be a girl, Karen. It's against the law.
To be honest with you, I have never heard of this game.
I hadn't either, and it's like apparently well respected. It's like it's a Karen keeps talking to me and ruining my train of thought. It's like one of the first like really only sandbox games, and also like there's no character classes. You just add classes and level up and whatever you want.
Oh, that's nice.
Which I'm kind of into. I played a little bit of this game vaguely. I'm gonna make a tall boy. Kind of skinny. Beefy arms.
Give me that beef, baby boy.
Skinny.
More beef, the better. Is this Bionicle?
Uh-oh, where's Jake? Jake, we've stumbled into
Jake?
Bionicle. Need cool hair.
Jake.
What's another tidbit about this game? I have to try to remember it.
Yeah, I found an interesting one. It exists.
Yeah,
It is a real game.
It is interesting.
It is.
Man, don't you hate when you're a horn bottom one? I'm usually a horn top 2.
What did I say? I'm an
only a
aggressive middle.
You only have threesomes because you're a middle.
That's right. I'm a middle. We make funny content sometimes.
Oh, we really do. Man, I
We
tell
really
you, I
do.
was watching those SNES Classic ones, and I was absolutely losing it.
Yeah, just a slight tease, folks. The SNES Classic / NES Classic, it may be coming back during Extra Life. Hint, hint. Tease.
It's not.
Tease. Oh no, it is. I really want to do that segment where we just play it for an hour and we just spin a random number and then we play that game for a bit.
Oh man, Mario 14.
Oh boy.
Choose a community. Atis. Okay. Use arrow key. No, WASD. Here we go. Good old Kelzor. Yes, it hasn't been taken. Look at this cool dude. I got a knife.
Hi, I have a knife.
So this game has like seasons and weather. I think every 4 days is a different season. Also, the planet is apparently a giant tree, which sounds kind of cool.
That's yeah, that's a big fantasy thing.
But it's
Trees.
like the roots are the core inside and like grows out into a circle.
Oh, I see a picture on Wikipedia's. Wikipedos.
Oh my god.
Wikipedos.
Wikipedos. What was the? I came up with a
Just
really
give me
good.
a quick second. Control Shift N.
I came up with a good domain at work. Oh, it was it momass.com? I don't know. I thought of a good. I wanted to buy the domain because it's available. fortressdwarves.com.
Oh, yeah, I feel like you should buy that solely for the reason of blocking whatever crappy developers trying to copy Dwarf Fortress.
Yeah, I'll just buy it and have it redirect to us. I need to be.
This is a lot like it's the Khajiit that are tree dwellers, right? In
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls.
Speaking of that,
I should know that because I've worked on those games, but
I
or one of those games.
I bought Elder Scrolls Online today because it was on sale.
You
And
are an idiot because it's in Game Pass.
It's not on PC Game Pass, and I did not want to play it.
Isn't
on
it
Xbox.
free to? It's free to play.
It's not free to play. I looked it up.
Yes. No, I'm pretty sure it is free to play, but there is a
because they were like, "Oh, our free play event is over right now."
No, because I think they've switched from a subscription to a. You may have to purchase a copy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. If you purchase a copy, it's free to play. It's not subscription. That's what you mean. You can pay for a premium.
No, because they moved from subscription to premium.
Yeah.
I can't remember if you have to have a copy to even play it.
That's the thing. You have to buy a copy. But it's not full free to play. Like, you don't get to download it.
Yeah, you still need to buy a copy of the game. I mean, we do need it eventually for server requests.
Well, yeah, that's why I bought it. I think it was $6. Not
for the was that did that have any expansions in it, or was that just the base?
I think it came with all the because there's that Greymore one that's like $20.
Yeah, that's the latest one, I believe.
I'm like, but it came with like the previous one was Morrowind, right? It added.
I think so.
So it came with that. Man, did you see that thing I retweeted about Morrowind on the Xbox?
Yes.
For folks watching this who don't know, they made it or they figured out a way during loading screens for them to reboot your original Xbox to get the memory cache back, which I like vaguely
remember.
While the
game was running.
Yeah, while the game was running, so it would pause on the loading screen. And I remember thinking back now, the noises my Xbox would make when playing, when loading in Morrowind were definitely the like of an Xbox restarting.
Yeah.
Which is just crazy.
That is pretty funny. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Right.
So we've kind of entered the territory in these games where they're pretty much like this is pre World of Warcraft boom, but also like some MMOs have been pretty well established, like EverQuest. I think EverQuest 2 is next, but it's like and City Heroes. So they're kind of in this zone where they're pretty good. Like they haven't nailed everything, but you're getting towards the more modern one. Like I'm not having a tough time playing these. Yes, like I chose to use arrow keys in this one because that's the way it is now. But or not arrow keys, WASD instead of arrow keys. But definitely getting to the point where they kind of, which I knew this show would reach, but it's kind of people figuring stuff out. And now we're headed into EverQuest 2, then World of Warcraft, and then people trying to add to World of Warcraft to try to get people away from World of Warcraft, which will be an interesting portion because there's a lot of M&Ms. There's a lot of M&Ms that try to do different things and are pretty much all free to play.
Different genres, different mechanics, different gimmicks. But I'm and then right after that is the MMO desert, in which MMOs just were not coming out because World of Warcraft was too dominant and everybody else who tried to launch an MMO in that period failed. So there was way too risky a proposition for people to take on.
And then there's Black Desert, which is an MMO, which I apparently own, but is also free to play. So
I think was it free on Steam for a bit?
Might have been. I have it on Steam. Let's see if I can get some missions from people.
So what is unique about this game?
I mean, it's mostly just what's unique about it now is that it's all community driven, but I don't want to do PvP. The open world nature of it kind of just spits you into this world and you're very much out on your own. And then this really got big, as far as I could tell from reading about it, into hey, you train what skills you want and you'll be that person. Like there's a handful of MMOs that tried to do that rather than you choosing like, I'll be a paladin, I'll be a wizard. Like just focus on what you want to do, which is a lot more RPG elements rather than strict stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Fledging Izam.
Just a little bit of a variation on the RPG.
Yeah, I think
character establishment formula.
And there was an interesting article I was reading about MMOs in general and how after, it was pretty much after, like Star Wars Galaxy was one of the last ones, but they split into social games and RPG games. Like there wasn't a lot of ones that were still social. Like you think about Habitat, that LucasArts one, which is strictly a social MMO, or like old BBS games.
Second Life.
Like Second Life is the social aspect taken to its max versus games that you would play over what were those old internet networks called between colleges?
Not BBSs.
No, I can't remember, but the article talks about those types of games were social and dungeons explorers, and you would kill things with your friends, and then you would also chat. So it's pretty much everything a modern like games as a service game is, but without the graphics.
Yeah.
Like it had like everything you could do. You could make bread, you could do all sorts of stuff. So I thought it was cool that like the game mechanics and what people wanted to do was figured out. They just had to get the graphics and the implementation of those for the next 20 years. Yeah. Man, I'm excited about playing some No Man's Sky.
Yeah, we're gonna be playing that on Saturday.
Kind of pumped.
I'm in a weird place with that game where I'm asking myself if I still, I feel like I'm carrying a grudge with that game, and I'm asking myself if it's legitimate or not, because I am still not over how much they messed up that launch. And I don't even want to say messed up. They just they flat out lied about it. I'm cutting some promo stuff for the upcoming streams, and I happened to rewatch some of the E3 trailers and stuff before the launch, and there's so much in there, like the sandworms that didn't even come out until yesterday or whenever Origins launched.
Oh yeah.
So it's just like, and I saw a quote on Reddit. It was somewhere. I wasn't even intending to come across it, but it was a quote from Sean Murray several months before the game came out, and it was like an extensive quote of him being like, yeah, you'll be able to like go find your friends and you'll see them in game and you'll see their ships and you'll be able to like show each other what you've done. And it was like, no, there was no multiplayer. So it's just like, part of it is I feel like it's justified anger, but at the same time, I feel like maybe they've made up for it. I'm not sure. I don't know. That was a big betrayal.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that they could ever make up for it. But then I'm also feeling like I'm carrying too much of a grudge. So I don't know. What's your feelings on it?
No, I'm about the same. Like, I enjoyed what was there when it came out, but it was very much like, hey, why is none of the things anyone talked about at all in this video game?
Yes.
And I've tried to get back into it a couple times since then, every time they do an update. But, yeah, I'm just excited. I'm going to make myself finish the tutorial, which is always where I get hung up. And then I think finally playing it with other people is what's going to make me kind of be like,
because the other thing, because the other problem I have is I don't think I like the game, but I've never played it for more than 5 or 6 hours on a single save. So I'm not, and that was before all the big updates. So I'm not sure if that has changed, if me butting up against the controls and the UI, etc., was a legitimate complaint or it was just a hurdle that I never got over.
Yeah.
So having sandbox where we're going to have 5 or 6 episodes, where we're going to be playing at least 5 or 6 hours because it's a minimum an hour per stream. It's basically forcing us to play. I think is going to be a good way to give the game a legitimate shot.
Yeah.
But we'll see how that goes. I mean, they have added a whole lot of stuff. Like I forgot they added an in-game synthesizer, like in-game music box synthesizer where you're laying out beats from samples and making your own music and stuff.
I'm kind of into that.
So there's a lot of stuff in it now. I'm just not sure. We'll see how it goes. Kind of like we did with the Star Citizen stream the other night. We're not sure what we're getting into. So let's dive in.
Yeah.
And it should be fun. Apparently we can play with up to 4 people in our party. And then in the instance, we can have up to, if you're on console, you'll see up to 8 people. If you're on PC, you'll see up to 32 people in your instance. So long story short, we will be doing multiplayer. I think there's still a little bit of jank to it from what I could read online, where even if we're in a party, we still have to complete the objectives individually. So it's more like being in a party just guarantees that we are in the same instance.
Gotcha.
As far as I could tell, that's kind of what it's doing.
That reminds
and
me
then,
oh, you go.
Yeah, just to say that. And then it's not an MMO, so basically it is peer-to-peer connection, and one person, the party host, is picking their save file, and then everybody else is going into that save file. So basically, I think I'm not sure how the base building is going to work, how non-host base building, if it's going to show up at all.
Gotcha.
So we'll just have to see.
I was just going to say that reminded me of when Josh, Zach, and I played Conan Exiles. Everyone had to have the thing to complete your objective. So every time we beat a boss, it'd be 5 minutes of Josh duplicating the stuff on the server, the loot, to give to me and Zach, so we could complete our task. Because otherwise we'd have to kill him 3 times.
Hopefully that won't be like this. Because I think once you get past the tutorial, it's pretty open. So, but I also think there's base structure unlocks in terms of building items you need to unlock. So we'll just have to help each other out. If I figure something out, I'll be like, hey, you need to do this, this, and this. There should be enough materials over there. But we'll give it a solid shot.
Yeah.
And it's nice to get back to the sandbox. I like the sandbox. It's a nice series.
Yeah, it's fun. It's there, and there's such a well of games. And so the best part is we can just wait for a game to be pretty relevant and then start playing it.
Yeah. And I like that it's contained. You know, we say, hey, we're going to play this, but it's only going to be for 4, 5, 6 weeks. Or we give ourselves an attainable goal, and then we hit that goal within a couple episodes. It's not like something super open-ended, which is nice.
Yeah. Man, I think we found, I think we're here, the most generic MMO. I think I found it. It's just like, oh.
I wouldn't even say it's generic. I think it's the first MMO we've hit that is not doing anything
like crazy.
exciting. Yeah, exciting, new, or different.
Right.
Because like even City of Heroes seemed like a generic MMO, but it was superhero themed.
Yeah.
This is just generic.
Like, we're at the thing, if someone was like, hey, this is the game you get to play for the rest of your life, I'd be like, okay. Like, it's not the worst thing ever, but, like, I could probably make it work.
Yeah. But I mean,
that's
the good
the
news
only
is,
way I would play it.
Yeah. I mean, I would just not play this game because I would have never heard of it. But the good news is we do have lots of things to talk about, including there's a brand new console, and it launched today, and it's called Amazon Luna. Did you hear about this, Will?
I did.
This sounds like yet another terrible idea from otherwise smart companies. So long story short, this is basically Amazon's version of Stadia. They're offering their own console. The difference between Stadia and this is that it is subscription based. So currently the early access pricing is $5.99 per month for up to 1080p 60 FPS gameplay. You can stream on 2 devices at a time. You can play on PC, Mac, Fire TV, and web apps for iPhone and iPad. Web apps is key because it gets around the iOS store, the Apple App Store restrictions that Stadia and xCloud run into. It's going to have some integration into Twitch. They have a controller that looks nearly identical to the. That's not fair. It looks very similar to the Switch Pro controller, but let's be honest, all controllers look the same now. Even the new PS5 controller looks identical to all the others. So it's just a standard looking controller.
I thought Stadia was still subscription.
No, Stadia is not subscription. Stadia is you buy the game and you can play it, but you buy it through Stadia. If you want like 4K and you want access to their like 3 or 4 free games, you pay for Stadia Pro.
Gotcha. But Amazon, you don't have to pay at all. Or you don't have to pay for the games at all.
Amazon's monthly. Yes, Amazon is subscription to a library.
Yeah.
Stadia is you have to purchase the game through Stadia full price. So at least in that regard, it is slightly better than Stadia. And it's interesting seeing the games they have on here. So I'll just go through some of them. Shadow Tactics, Everspace, Ukulele Impossible Lair, Sonic Mania, Rhyme, Control, which is interesting because that is not on Game Pass. And there's rumors of it coming to Game Pass, and they were like, we have no plans to put it on Game Pass, but it's now on here. Resident Evil 7, Lumines, Metro Exodus, The Surge 2, SteamWorld Dig, 2 Brothers, Abzu, etc. There are also there is kind of an interesting angle to it, which I think is probably the only clever thing that it's doing. They have developer/publisher channels that they are offering. Oh. So, for example, coming soon is the Ubisoft channel, which is where basically you pay on top of your subscription, your monthly subscription, to get access to Ubisoft games like Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And the way they've said it is that Assassin's Creed Valhalla is going to be available, as well as Watch Dogs Legion, I'm guessing at launch when they come out, but the Ubisoft channel isn't available. So basically just think of it as like it's similar to a Patreon. You are paying money to a specific creator to get access to their content. Which I think is very interesting because there are plenty of developers and publishers who are hesitant to get onto Game Pass because they don't want to lose potential sales, even though they're going to get some kickback from Microsoft. There are publishers that have tried their own service, like EA Play, like Ubisoft Uplay. I forget what they called it. and this is an easy way for a publisher to join the subscription gaming environment without having to host their own servers and without feeling like they're getting a cut.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the only interesting thing they're doing, is that they're offering upgrades on top of the subscription for like specific developers and publishers.
When does
Other
it?
than that,
When does it come out?
it's out now.
It is.
Yes, you can sign up right now, or sorry, you can request early access.
Yeah, because I did that today, but I wasn't sure when it actually, if it actually had a launch date.
Yeah, it's my understanding that it's people are playing it now. They're just slowly rolling it out. The one thing I'm not sure is this controller. I don't think the control. Okay, so the controller does the Stadia thing where it connects directly to the internet, so it reduces some latency. But I'm not sure if you need the controller. Let me just read through this. Oh, yeah, so you don't have to use the Luna controller.
Oh, that's
You can
cool.
use Xbox One controller, DualShock 4 controller, mouse and keyboard, etc. The Luna controller is also, it supports Bluetooth and USB for offline play on many devices. So I guess you could use it as a normal controller on your PC if you wanted to. However, the Luna controller does cost money. It's $50. So basically, they're offering a controller for people who need a controller, has some low latency, but you don't get it as part of your subscription.
Gotcha.
Which I believe is similar to Stadia, because Stadia basically had a $120 like Founders Edition, which included the controller plus a bunch of it. And I think on its own, it's $50, $60 for the Stadia controller. So long story short, very similar to Stadia, except the business model is slightly better because it's subscription-based to a library as opposed to buying individual games. And they're offering publishers an opportunity for like add-on channels. But I'm not hopeful for this. Are you hopeful for this?
I mean, I guess it could be cool, but not. Yeah, I'm not hopeful for it.
Yeah, because I've tried Stadia, and I've tried xCloud, and I've tried NVIDIA. What's it called? GeForce Play or GeForce, whatever it is. GeForce Now. And I've not been I don't want to say I wasn't impressed, but I don't think any of them were good enough for playing any game other than something like Slay the Spire, which is a card game, or something that is very slow and does not require precisely timed or precision inputs. So turn-based games, it's probably fine. But there's definitely graphical artifacts, and there's definitely a noticeable delay. So I think as much as people want it to be there, I don't think the technology's there yet. So I can't... Which do you think is going to die first? Amazon Luna or Google Stadia?
Google Stadia. For sure.
I'm not sure, because I feel like both of them have killed off services before. But which kills them off quicker?
But also, we don't know how
like,
many people might flock to Luna.
Yeah, because it's a subscription. I don't know. Well, I mean, it's really only for people who don't have a gaming PC, who don't have a console, but who desperately want to play these games.
Yeah.
Which is... I mean, considering that Game Pass is cheap and considering that Xbox consoles are super cheap, because even the Series S is $300 and you can probably get an Xbox One for like, what, $150, $200 now?
Mm-hmm.
Not even used, just like a refurbished one.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that I don't think that budget gamer base is this desperate anymore.
You're a child crying. What? Why did it say that to me? That was weird.
Yeah, so I mean, it was kind of a surprise announcement, but I think it's surprising because it's so funny. Amazon has been throwing money at the game development community for years, 5, 6, 7 years now,
Yeah.
to set up studios, to build their own engine. To remember when they killed Gamers Club Unlocked from Best Buy? Do you remember that program?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So for those of you watching along, basically Best Buy had a program called Gamers Club Unlocked. I believe you paid $30 for a 2-year subscription, and during those 2 years, if you bought a brand new game, you got 20% off. So you could basically walk in and buy a $60 brand new game, $48.
Forgot about.
Amazon didn't like that competition, so they did something similar on Amazon, and they kept it around for about 4 or 5 months until Best Buy canceled Game Club Unlocked. I forget. I can't remember what it's called. And then, like a month later, Amazon killed off their service as well. So basically, Amazon entered the service just long enough to screw over Best Buy, and more importantly, to screw over the consumers and just destroy a good service.
Yeah, it's funny because I had that, and I remember for a while being like, "Oh, I could get it on Amazon, but I'll just stick with Best Buy." And then I remember Best Buy getting rid of it and being like, "Oh, why would you get rid of that?" And it's like, "Guess I'll do Amazon."
Yeah, and then Amazon doesn't do it anymore.
Yeah, they did the restriction where they were like, "Hey, only new games, not re-releases."
But no, but it was only like certain new games, and then they were just like, not doing this anymore, and it was like, screw you. You know, that's basically the definition of a monopoly in a way. Is being able to cut the price so low that you can just drive any competition out and then reset the price back to what it should be.
Yo, this guy's crying. Why is he crying?
Punch him in the face.
I'll go.
Oh, I like the thought bubble and how you select options in the thought bubble.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. Gotta get this guy some clothes.
Yeah, so you know, I don't know. I feel like it's a toss-up because the other thing is Google. If you remember Google Plus, that stayed around way longer than it should have. So I feel like Google is not that quick to kill things.
Yeah.
But I feel like Amazon is. But at the same time, they still have those studios that have done almost nothing. So yeah, I think you're right.
Game coming out that they're doing New World.
The New World, I feel like it got completely pulled back into alpha after it came out, because it was an alpha or beta for a while. Then it got pulled back, and then they came out again a couple months ago with like another alpha beta, and then I think they said they were going to pull it back again. They also had the hero shooter type MOBA game, I believe, that came out, and then they immediately pulled it after a week. They were just like, we're going to pull this game all the way back into alpha. Like, it was a full launch, and then they pulled it down, and they pulled it all the way back into alpha.
Yeah, because I remember, because the New World one, they added fantasy elements to, because originally it was just about like taking over the new world, and everyone's like, yeah, maybe don't make a game like that right now.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing the trailer now, and it's like still like conquistadors and stuff, but it's more fantasy based. I was like, okay, that's a little bit better.
Yeah. So I think you're right. I think Stadia is going to go first, but I think it's pretty. I'm not going to say it's close as to when they actually go, but I feel like it's a close split as to who's going to call it first.
Oh, what the frick? I didn't want to talk to you, lady.
So the other piece of news, Sega has announced it. There will be a live-action Western Yakuza movie. Crazy news. I'm very curious as to which. There's a lot of stories going on across all. What are they up to? 8 games? I think there's even more than that if you include some of the other spin-offs. So, a lot of story. They did say it's going to be about Kazuma Kiryu. So, I'm pretty excited. Do you think they can pull off a Yakuza game?
I think so. I saw someone say if Ken Watanabe doesn't play Sarah, then what's the point?
Yeah. I I'm curious how crazy they're going to go with it because there's a lot of crazy stuff in Yakuza,
Yeah.
like crazy weird funny stuff, but I'm just curious if they're going to bring that in because they could just go with the flat super dramatic main storyline of a Yakuza game and be okay. And I don't think I would fault them for not bringing in the crazy stuff because that's a weird that's two weird tones you'd have to bring in. Like if you think about like the underground cat fighting ring plus the heavy duty main story, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
how do you bring those together? You know?
Yeah. Oh man, I forgot about that. There's so many things in that game that just crop up, and then you're like, you think it's gonna be more part of this main storyline. They're like, no, it's just there.
Yeah. And I kind of love that because there's so much of it that it's like, you know, if you want to spend time here, you go right ahead. If you don't want to, we've got other stuff. You'll find something to do in all this neighborhood. You'll find something you like. God, what a fantastic Yakuza 0 is just so good.
It is really good.
I'm excited for that new one. Launch day, November 10th.
Oh yeah,
Like the dragon.
Like a dragon. Wisdom upgrade. Rot damage.
So yeah, that's exciting. Something else I wanted to bring up was we talked earlier about the RTX 3080. But today was also the launch day for the RTX 3090.
Ooh.
Which means the review embargo was up. And surprise, surprise, I kind of called it. The 3090 is only about 10 to 20% better in gaming performance than the 3080. And need I remind you, the 3080 is $700. The 3090 is $1,500.
Wow.
So it is absolutely not worth the price premium. The only thing it does get you is, if I was reading the reviews correctly, you can play the 3090 at 8K DLSS. So the way they do it is they basically do 1440p native resolution, and then they use the DLSS upscaling to get it to 8K. And you can't do that on the 3080. You can only go up to 4K DLSS. And people were saying it looks great. People were playing Doom Eternal at 8K at 60 FPS. And it was like pretty much almost locked to 60 FPS. There was like 2 dips down to like 58 FPS.
Oh wow.
But people were saying it works really well. It's just it doesn't seem like it's worth it. And the other thing is that they're pseudo marketing it as like an enthusiast card, but is also like it's a workstation card. And the RTX Titan, which was the beefy card from last generation, the 2000 series, is getting in some programs is getting much better performance than the 3090, like CAD programs, some non-modeling, like Cinemark programs, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really weird. It's like the 3090 has come out, but it's not better than the RTX Titan as a workstation card. And it doesn't justify the cost difference versus the 3080. And then, so it's just kind of weird. And then when the 3070 comes out, it's probably not going to be worth $500. So it's like the 3080 really is like the perfect Goldilocks right down the middle.
Yeah.
You know? So, woe to me, because that's going to suck trying to get it when everybody else realizes that. And it's funny because in these Discords, people are discussing the card while they're trying to purchase it. And a lot of people were so desperate that they were buying the 3090 today. And then they said, I'm just going to use the 3090 for now. And then as soon as I can get a 3080, I'll just sell the 3090.
I guess it's not a bad plan.
It's not a bad plan. Like if you desperately need a graphics card, then it's not a bad plan. Because you're still gonna be able to sell the 3090 for, like what, $1,400-$1,500. You'll be able to get your money back.
Yeah.
And it'll hold you over till the 3080. It's just like a $1,500-$1,600 purchase right now.
Okay, I'm gonna run in a direction now. Let's do that. I've leveled up as a wizard a little bit, or a mage.
Hi, I'm a mage.
Hi, I'm a dairy.
I feel like there was another piece of gaming news. Oh, have you played Hades? Hades is getting a lot of
Yeah,
good coverage.
I want to play it. My buddy, is very into Supergiant.
Hmm.
I played Bastion 2 years ago, last year over a vacation. I played it
Hmm.
like the entire game on a train ride, which was great.
Yeah, Bastion's fun.
And then I have his copy of Transistor here. But yeah, I heard Hades is a good time.
Yeah, it's just, man, I got too many games going right now, and because I started playing Elite Dangerous, which is it's fun. It's funny. It's like I can see why Star Citizen went in the direction they did in terms of like you can get out of the ship, you can walk around the ship, you can walk around these space stations because Elite Dangerous has none of that right now.
Yeah.
Um, and Elite Dangerous is pretty great. It's pretty fleshed out, except for that it's mostly just sitting in the ship. I'm just not sure. I feel like I just don't like games where you're stuck in a cockpit.
Yeah.
And even if I could get out of the station, I don't think there's enough. Yeah, it's just too much cockpit time. There's another game similar to that where I had like anytime there's like a tank mission in a video game and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna love it, and you love it for about 5-10 minutes, and then you like the mission starts to slog, or you try and replay it and you're like, I hate how constricting this is.
Yeah.
So
I'm stuck in a tank.
Yeah. So I'm really enjoying Elite Dangerous, but I don't know. We could still do a series because I'm actually leveling up pretty quickly. Well, leveling, quote unquote, is all money based. So I have my second ship already, which people say is like a great mid tier ship. So we could still do a series, but I don't know.
Can't jump on.
I don't know. We have Squadrons coming up.
I'm very excited for Squadron.
I'm hesitant now because that's a cockpit game. And I'm slowly realizing that I don't like playing those for more than like 2-3 hours.
Right, but that game doesn't have anything other than fighting. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but my point is, it's still that same sense of like constriction, in a way, like limiting. Like, oh, there's not a whole lot to this game because you're just stuck in a cockpit.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I guess I don't get it's like with Euro Truck. I'm stuck in a truck, but that's what the game is. Versus like Elite Dangerous, I want more than just being in a spaceship, so that's why I'm
because you're around. Yeah. Because like you're at a space station, and you're like, why can't I get out of the space station? But if the space station wasn't there, then
yeah.
I don't know. I need to think more about what exactly it is about the cockpit game that starts to frustrate me. I think maybe it's because a lot of the UI is static in terms of you can make the inside of that cockpit as pretty as you want, but it's still taking up 50% of the screen, and that 50% is always going to look like that.
Yeah.
So it feels like you're never really experiencing the world. You're always looking through a window at it. I don't know. A lot of ideas there. So I think I'm still excited for Squadrons. I'm still not sure if I'm going to buy it day one because, man, okay, I'm going to pull up the calendar here. I don't know if you've looked at the calendar yet. I mean, no. I bought Super Mario 3D All-Stars, and I haven't even really been playing.
Oh, I've been playing some
Mario 64.
Yeah.
First time playing it. Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah.
I mean, it has its struggles, like the camera.
Wait,
but
yeah, but I would say even after wrestling with the controls and the camera, still good.
Yeah.
Still good.
I think I'm gonna stop playing Ryzom, but we can keep talking.
I just want to go through the calendar. So tomorrow is Mafia Definitive Edition, which is getting good reviews. People are saying like it's a remaster and not a remake, if that makes sense. Because they're saying they're not really doing anything to the gameplay, but they just make it look real good and the world look good. So I think I'll play that eventually. Spelunky 2 is out on the PS4, comes out next Tuesday on the PC. I don't think I'm going to play it. Maybe eventually, but that game looks too hard to me. So Squadrons, next Friday, Star Wars Squadrons. Rocket League went free to play yesterday, which makes me want to hop back in. Rocket League's good. Still have Tony Hawk Pro Skater. October 15th, we have Jackbox 7.
Yeah, I'm
October
excited
20
for that.
Yeah. October 29th, Watch Dogs Legion, which looks pretty good. I'm willing to give that a shot, assuming the reviews are good. November 10th, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Yakuza Like a Dragon. That's my November 10th game, plus the Series X launch, Series S, Series X. Thursday, November 12th is the PS5 launch, including Demon's Souls and Miles Morales. The next Thursday, November 19th, Cyberpunk 2077. And then the end of the month, start of December, December 1st, Empire of Sin.
Ooh.
And then the following Friday is Medal of Honor VR. There's so many big, huge games coming out. And if only half of them have good reviews, it's still going to be more than enough to play. So
that's
just crazy right
games.
now. Yeah. Should we wrap it up?
Yeah, it's up to you. If you got more to talk about, I can just pull something random up. I can play that.
I do.
It's up to you. I want to figure out this dropped frames crap. It kept dropping, and I was not paying attention. So
I think it'd be worth streaming like a normal game. It's still dropping right now, isn't it?
It's done now, ever since I exited the game. But I wonder if it is that what you were talking about, the
NVENC.
Yeah.
But you have a 2070 Super, so you should be fine.
Yeah. It's just like my internet does dip sometimes, but it doesn't happen when the internet dips, is the strange thing.
Yeah. And I thought we had gotten to the point where your internet was fine.
Yeah. Also, I don't know why my microphone one channel is higher than the other. Lots going on today. Strange.
But it's okay. So coming up tomorrow, not sure yet if I'm streaming. So just follow us on Twitter at Subpixel Team, and I'll let you know if I'm streaming. I may do a 5 p.m. stream. Not sure. I actually took the day off tomorrow, but I got to do some car work. So we'll see how that goes. But Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern, we will 100% be playing No Man's Sky as we return to season
8, 7 or 8. I think Astroneer was 6.
Yeah, that sounds right. Season 7 of the Sandbox.
Yeah.
And we'll be playing that for a little while. If you're waiting for Server Quest in particular, next Thursday, EverQuest 2. It's time.
Yeah.
It's the big boy.
I'm excited.
I believe that's it for the upcoming schedule. If you want to do the outro, I think we're good.
Folks, thank you for tuning in. This has been Server Quest Live. Sorry for that boredom stream. That was just a boring game that I think could be more fun, but it was not good stream material. I'll scout EverQuest 2 a little bit more and see if there's anything exciting coming up. Kind of getting to the point where me just playing them isn't the most exciting thing, but it makes a pretty good news show, so I'm not too worried about it. We are Subpixel. Subpixelfilms.com is where you can find all of our great stuff. Up above me there is Ian Gibson. That's at Think Gibson on Twitter. I am Will Crosby at Hun270 on Twitter. You can find all of our stuff at Subpixel Team on Facebook, on Twitch, on YouTube, and on Twitter, and on Instagram as well. But not Mixer, because they're dead. We should make a TikTok. Let's do that, and then we can dance. TikTok.
Yeah, maybe.
Folks, thank you for watching this short episode of Server Quest Live. We will be back at you in the times that Ian said earlier. Until then, stay frosty, stay delicious. Goodbye.
Bye.